Is it empowering to you to have a guy text you, hey, you up at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night? Is it empowering to be ghosted by a guy after you have sex with him? Is it empowering to Netflix and chill and literally have him abandon you the moment that you guys finish having sex? This whole idea that you're supposed to give them your body all in the name of liberation, all in the name of empowerment is a lie. It's a lie because it disempowers women. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here for a minute, I love you so much for coming back. First things first, I want to say thank you and hello to all of my new subscribers. I was initially only going to do one episode a month of According to Ashley, but since you guys took so well to the first pilot episode, I figured I'm going to give you more episodes. I'm not exactly sure what the cadence is going to be. I haven't yet decided that. I'm still in the beginning stages of figuring out what this According to Ashley series looks like. But in the meantime, for those of you guys who are new, According to Ashley is my informal chit chat where I just talk about issues in pop culture that I'm particularly passionate about, completely unfiltered, completely unscripted. Today, we're going to be talking about hookup culture and why it is toxic to women. Now, I was actually inspired to make this video based on something that I had mentioned in my last video, which was about the hypersexuality of Black women in pop music. In that video, I mentioned how hypersexuality is pushed on women in the media and how we often feel that we have to have our Samantha from Sex and the City life and just have lots and lots of sex. And that's how you be a woman when you're young, particularly when you're in your 20s, when you're in college. This is the kind of ideology that's pushed on you as a woman. It's like, you have not lived unless you've had sex with multiple men. And I want to talk about why that is toxic to women and only stands to really, truly benefit men and really opens up women for manipulation and objectification and just anything but empowerment. I mean, really and truly, like, what part of hookup culture is supposed to be empowering? Is it empowering to you to have a guy text you, hey, you up at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night? Is it empowering to be ghosted by a guy after you have sex with him? Is it empowering to Netflix and chill and literally have him abandon you the moment that you guys finish having sex? How many women can you relate to? You give him your body, and then what happens? He up and ghosts you. This is a phenomenon that has been happening to women for, I have lost count how many decades at this point, but just the feelings of just inadequacy and rejection that brings up.
Do you guys know if Cole called?
Not since the last time you asked.
Okay, I need some sisterly advice. Is he doing the whole blow her off after sex thing and I'm just not reading the signs?
I don't know that it's biological, but it's certainly sociological that women tend to be the more sensitive gender. Men take advantage of this. They know how desperately women want to be chosen, and manipulative men take advantage of this. They know how badly women want to be chosen. They know that still in society, a woman, as I've said before in previous videos, a woman could go to an Ivy League college or any college, get her bachelor's degree, get a master's degree, get a PhD, get her JD, MD, all the things, right? You can have all the accomplishments professionally, education-wise. You can have all of the accomplishments. You can have the best job ever, have your own corner office somewhere, and be so accomplished. Yet, what is the one thing that a woman is celebrated for the most? When she gets married, when she gets chosen by a man. Because again, as I've said in previous videos, you should watch my Pretty Privilege and the Politics of Desirability video where I talk about this particular phenomenon even more. A woman is most celebrated when she is chosen by a man. And at the end of the day, so many of us go into hookup culture. We hook up with a guy, hoping that we become one of the rare cases that they fall in love with us and it actually starts a relationship and something comes of it. But 99.999% of the time when you hook up with a guy, it goes nowhere. It does nothing for you. It's actually emotionally damaging because the unrequited feelings that you end up developing for that man is just not ever going to be reciprocated.
Well, you didn't call. I mean, I'd understand that, if you were busy or sick or something.
It's only been a couple of days. You need to talk to me about something?
Is everything okay?
Well, the thing is, I think I'm supposed to get together with some people later.
Harvard? Did I? Did I do something wrong?
Something wrong? No, of course not. It was fun. Didn't you have fun?
You had fun. Is that all it was?
But I'm starting to feel like you thought that meant what? Some kind of commitment?
The vast majority of us are talking to a guy for like freaking like 1 day or 2 days and are already telling our girlfriends, oh my God, I'm talking to this guy and he has the hottest body and the cutest hair. We know this about us as women. That's us. Yes, we as women do form attachment easier. And that's just from talking to a guy. And you know, for 30 minutes of pleasure, it costs you months and months, if not years and years of emotional distress. You know, there is an emotional component to sex. You are giving your body to someone else. It's a very intimate experience, and it doesn't have to be about love. It's not to say that every single man that you engage in intercourse with, that you have to be in love with him. Obviously, that's not the reality. For most people, that's obviously not the reality, but it's to say still that you are engaging and exchanging feelings and emotions and vibrations and all the things, and to like just hop into bed with any old guy, it really just does set you up for disaster and manipulation. Like, men are able to detach themselves in a way that we're not able to. Men are able to have sex with girl after girl after girl and still be emotionally okay. Honestly, those men who are doing that are often very much insecure and lacking in confidence and just really weaponizing sex and sexuality. But nevertheless, we are the ones who end up paying the toll for it. We are the ones who end up developing feelings that are not returned. It's not to say that you shouldn't have sex with more than one person. I always use this analogy, at least when I'm talking to my friends about it. It's like, I love cheddar cheese. How do I know that cheddar cheese is my favorite brand of cheese? Because I've tried mozzarella, I've tried goat cheese, I've tried American cheese, I've tried brie, all the cheeses, right? You know what you like because you've tried different things, obviously, but you can still have sex, have intercourse with multiple people who you're in a relationship with and get to know your body, get to know what your likes and dislikes are. Totally. If you know that person well, it's a completely different story. But the whole idea of like hooking up with someone that you met at the bar, that you said 2 words to, or even a guy that you met on Tinder, and then the first time you guys meet up in person, it's a sexual activity. I mean, it just simply sets women up for anguish. I have been there. It ultimately was doing nothing to serve me. I was getting myself involved in situationships with F-boys who, quite frankly, were not deserving of my time, let alone my body. And I really had to learn, like, oh my God, like, this is all pushed on us in the media. Like, it's all pushed on us that you're not a woman, you're not living unless you are engaging in this lifestyle. I was taken advantage of, I was manipulated, I was strung along. Sex is a very pleasurable act to partake in. I am not someone who is going to say that that is not the reality. Like, sex is pleasure. Sex and sexuality are pleasurable, but empowering, I find eating ice cream, cupcakes, all the things, grilled cheese, pleasurable acts to engage in. Am I feeling empowered by that? Not necessarily. And I said this, and you know, this is going to be controversial to a lot of women, I know, and I was actually really pleased to see all the positive response from women who actually could relate to this sentiment. I said this in my last video. My sexuality does not empower me. It simply does not. Despite all the propaganda that is pushed around in the media, I don't feel empowerment through what my body can do and what it can't do. I mean, like, if you start deriving your self-worth and your empowerment from what your body parts can do, it's like, what happens when you can't use those body parts one day? What happens if I acquire a disability that inhibits my ability to engage in intercourse. What happens then? Am I feeling powerless? I take pleasure in what my mind can do and what my heart can do and what I can do and feel spiritually. You know, that is what I am empowered by, the things about me that are unique to me, that other people can't do, that I can do, my gifts that I have. And my gift is far from my vagine. It simply is just not. It's not something that empowers me. It doesn't. If a woman who is engaging in lots and lots and lots of intercourse is somehow more empowered, like, what does that say to all the people, all the women in the world who've never, ever engaged in intercourse? All the women who are virgins in the world, are they like less of a woman? Are you less of a person? Are you less of a human being if you haven't ever done it, let alone if you haven't done it in a long time? Like, are you less of a person? Like, are you not as cool? Are you not as womanly? Are you not as feminine because you haven't done that? And it's all a scheme. It's all a scheme that the patriarchy set up to get us to say, hey, me like hooking up with you when you don't deserve it, when you didn't put the work in, where I don't even know you. It's all a scheme that the patriarchy set up to make us feel empowered by them taking our agency away from us. To be honest, like the sex that you have when it's with your partner, with somebody that you actually love and value and care for, is a million times better, earth-shatteringly better than the sex you're gonna have with old boy that you met in the bar. It simply is. And you know, I'm very blessed. I'm in a very stable, very committed relationship. And I know that you're watching. Hello to my honey buns. When you don't know a person that much, when you don't even know that person, like it's not even pleasurable in the same way at all. And actually studies have shown that as much as people talk about sex, as much as people display sexual imagery, a lot of people, particularly millennials, are not actually having as much intercourse as they may project to the outside world. And it really does go to show that while they're selling us this hookup culture of, yes, this is what you need to be a liberated and empowered woman, it's all talk, because most women are actually not doing that. And I'm going to be completely candid with you. There was a period in my life where I did not have sex for over a year. Like over a year of my life, I did not engage in that. Had I listened to all the propaganda that tells us that, yes, like that is liberation and that is how you feel happy. Had I listened to that, that would have been one of the most, disempowering times of my life. I felt so powerful, so in control of my life because I was not dealing with anyone. I was not in a situationship. I wasn't in a relationship. Yeah. So if that is empowering, so if you're not able to play into the, systems of desirability, if you don't have access to that, then what are those women? Are those women not powerful women? I certainly recognize that there was a time where women's sexuality was extremely oppressed and extremely, extremely taboo. And we obviously belong to an oppressed gender. I get that. But at the same time, there's a tipping point. There's a tipping point between being able to have conversations like this and to talk about our sexuality and not have it be something that's taboo. There's a fine line and there's a tipping point. We've kind of like fell off the whole cliff. Like we have fallen off the cliff and we have lost the plot, because this whole idea that you have to sleep with multiple men who couldn't be bothered to give a crap about you, to give you the attention that you deserve, to give you the love that you deserve, to give you the respect that you deserve. This whole idea that you're supposed to give them your body all in the name of liberation, all in the name of empowerment is a lie. It's a lie because it disempowers women and it sets them up for all of the manipulation, and it sets them up for being taken advantage of. And it also just puts them in really dangerous, really precarious situations. And we need to stop selling that image and selling that lie to women. Even if you're amongst the minority of women that, hey, that works for you, I want there to be space. That's all I'm always talking about on my channel is I am full on anti-homogeny. I'm full on anti one individualized monolithic identity for women. Yeah, if you want to engage in that, go on with your bad self, do your thing, girl, do it. But I just don't want that to be the default of like a woman is not engaging in that, and then they invent tropes like, well, you're a cat lady, or you're a spinster, or you're destined to be alone, or you're this or you're that. And it's just like, why does that have to be weaponized against a woman if she doesn't want to engage in that? Yeah, I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say on this topic. I just want women to proceed with caution and not buy into this idea that that's what you need to do, because there is so many different types of women that we are all allowed to be. And I know I've been talking in very heteronormative language today, but I am talking about my lived experiences, and I'm particularly talking about the male, female, heterosexual binary relationships, because that is what I identify as, and that's the type of relationships that I engage in, and that's what I feel comfortable speaking to. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your experiences with hookup culture? Do you recognize the toxicity of it all? And if you liked today's video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked it, if you loved it, then definitely take a moment to subscribe. And I'm always wanting to hear from you guys about ideas for topics that you want me to discuss in this According to Ashley series. So if there's something you want to pick my brain about that's happening in pop culture that's relevant, definitely leave a comment down below and let me know your ideas. And yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. And as always, in closing, remember that nobody's free until we're all free.